Okay, first up is going to be Mr. Wickham.
How far away is it?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna try to.
That's good. You're good.
Can I try to hold it?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'm gonna hold it so I can move around. I'm gonna go over the tumbling classes and kind of some things that we put together in the meeting with the directors about what information I want everyone to know and how to move forward with the way we run tumbling classes and kind of the expectations Julie has and that we've all developed together. Overall, our meeting today is kind of themed under the idea of respect. So everyone's like sections and parts will have like pulling things from the word respect. With that, we're gonna also ask you guys to pay attention to the word respect. So when I say the word respect, actually whenever you hear the word respect, because of my section, I need you guys to do something so I know that you're engaged in following through. So we're on a ship, and we're all pirates, and we're gonna say we're gonna say "arr" like pirates, and we're gonna cover our left eye every time I say the word respect. Arr. Okay, so we're gonna try it like the way it's supposed to go. So I'm gonna say respect. Arr. Faster. Respect. Arr. Okay, that's what pirates. So I also chose R because I spell it A-R-R-R.
3 R's.
3 R's. Because I'm using 3 R's to define what I think that we should be focused on for the tumble classes. My 3 R's are respect.
R.
Tumbling got me off guard. Maybe off guard. Respect, relationship, and responsibility. So those are the 3 R's that I'm going to use as my bullet points to get through what we need to focus on when it comes to our tumble classes. So the 3 R's are kind of based on perception of your classes and what you're doing in your classes and how it looks. So that perception is going to be based off the parents' perception from the viewing room, the kids' perception, their involvement in class, their progress, if they're happy or not, and then your co-workers' perception. So how it is to work with you or watch you work and how that affects their working and how all of that comes together to like better yourself as a good coach for the classes and make it look good for what we're offering. So we'll start with respect. Arr! This is funny. Okay, so we need to find value in all of our customers. So you really can't respect anyone. Can't respect anyone. Really, I don't know about this idea. Value. We're going to focus on value. So you have to find value in all your customers. You have to understand that the parents are craving for a product. And you have to understand that the kids are coming to the facility to learn skills and get better, but they are coming to have fun. Like, they're children, so that's all they ever think about is having fun. So we have to make sure we keep that in our minds when we work with them. And we have to keep in our minds, parents want to bring their children happiness. So they want to focus on what they're paying for it, but they also want to look through the viewing room and see that their children are happy doing what they're doing. So the value of our kids and our parents is very important when we think about respect. We have to think about the energy level that we give to classes because during a normal day, we all have maybe jobs we do before we come to the gym, or we have a class at a time that it's after 2 other classes or before a team, and you could be completely rattled kind of in your full efforts going towards that class at that time, just based on other things that are going on. It's got to be like our top priority to give 100% to each of those entities, because you got to think about it this way. That one kid comes to Excite once a week. That one kid in that one class, yeah, it's your 8th class of the week by Thursday afternoon and you're already tired, but it's that kid's one class a week at Excite. So if you're just kind of vibing on what you're feeling and how you are, and you're not giving 100%, that entire kid's idea of our entire program is based off of that. So we have to think about the intensity level and the effort we put towards every single class, no matter when it is, because your schedule's made up to something that you can manage and handle. Julie puts a lot of effort into that, so you really don't have the excuse of not giving 100%. Sometimes for a class versus sometimes for a certain team or sometimes for a certain type of class, just because it's either easier or you're more passionate about working like that. You should be passionate about working every aspect of the gym and every class that you put on. Co-workers, when it comes to respect, think about ways that you can have togetherness while working. The example that I'm going to use is the class that I have with Allison and Charles on Tuesdays. It's I have a boys tumble class, and they have also a gym and
Tumble
1A. And so just the makeup of that class, the 3 classes, it's all like really young kids, and I have young boys. So it's one of the more hands-on warm-ups that I think that I'm involved with, but we have a system where, like we talked about in the meeting, Allison kind of leads it because she's kind of like a mother figure compared to us 2 boys, and there's a lot of little kids. So her voice, like, visibly looks a lot more calming and controlling in that environment. Natalie, if anyone knows Natalie, Natalie needs a little bit of TLC or whatever you want to call it to get her functioning. So Charles usually is working with Natalie almost completely one-on-one just to get her to not be distracting to the other kids. So that puts me in a mindset that says, that coach is doing that coach is doing that. I need the boys to focus on me because like they'll run out the door too, but I also need to think mindfully, all of these little kids still need effort and attention and help. So I have to make a decision every time I have that class to kind of just help warm up or be completely involved in warm up. So overall, Allison doesn't get any more stress because she's leading the whole thing. Charles doesn't have to worry about not helping other people because we all know Natalie needs help, and I just have to decide to bounce around a little bit more, keep my eyes on the boys, but help the other little kids. Is it a tiny bit stressful? Of course, every single week. But that's okay. That's got to be okay, and that's got to be something that we don't have be a make or break or have something that looks negative by any means, because it's part of our job to make those things look seamless. I don't think that world ever looks crazy, and I don't think it feels crazy, but it can be crazy. Like, we all know that any given time that could be psychotic, but we just don't want to make that an option, and that's because we have respect for each other, and we want to start that class off or that day off in a really good mindset for all of us. Let's move on to the second R, which is relationship. So, the relationships I'm talking about are the relationships that you can build with the kids that are in class, okay? We have to think about the kids being kids. A lot of these kids know a really select handful of adults. They know their parents, they know maybe aunts and uncles, grandparents, they know people at school. And they're like kind of not really even supposed to talk to other adults at all. So then there's us. We're the other adults in their life, because if they do come to multiple things or if they just come once, this is like one of the only other things they do that's different from their schedule. So we are important to them whether or not we think so or not. Whether it's like this one class or she's a new girl, you've had her for 6 months, it doesn't really matter. We are important to the children, so we have to have a relationship with those children so that they take value in coming here. And so that they tell their parents good things about coming here. So that their parents tell other parents good things and more kids come here. So it is important to have these relationships, whether or not they're paying $2,000 a year because they're a month because they're on team and they do a bunch of classes, a bunch of private, or they just pay for one class. They're still important, and we still have to have a relationship. Being tumble director now for the last few months, I get emails about the withdrawals that happen on classes. And the only thing that I get frustrated with reading the withdrawals and being up to date about what's happening is when the one section that says coach's name is either blank or has question marks. Because, you know, a lot of the things are kind of out of control, and a lot of the withdrawals you could just fight and get the kid back. But if your kid doesn't know your name, that is lack of effort. Okay? You don't think it's important to make that basic human transaction with a child that's probably already uncomfortable with dealing with you because they don't know you. Your kid should know your name. It's very important. You gotta think about it this way. When a parent brings their kid to this gym for a class, they are hiring us to teach them. Every single time that we work with that kid, they're consistently evaluating whether or not that is a good investment. So in the very beginning, like you'd all do for a normal business transaction or a job, you'd definitely at least make sure the person knows your name. You'd make sure you're doing things that have a really good understanding of who you are as a person, and you're showing that you value what's going on. You're not valuing small kids if you don't have a relationship with the small kid that you work with every week. If they're withdrawing from a class, which means they've probably been in it for at least a month and they don't know you. Okay? That's something that we have to think about. That's a basic form of having a relationship. Solution for what we might see is happening, or things that we want to work on and see getting better when it comes to relationship. I try to build togetherness with my classes as if like they can build a relationship together outside of Pickside or outside of the class, so that they'll tie in together being happy and fun because it happened here. The example I have to use for that is my boys class on that same day. They're all little boys that think that one time we checked and one was like 5, one was 6, one was 7, one was 8. So they're just like in that like elementary school age, and when they come into class, sometimes they like look around and they like ask me where the other boys are. And I'm like, well, I don't know. They might just be running late, or maybe they're on vacation, and they do just usually come late. All boys are there, and they're like relieved by the time all of the boys in class are there, because that's what they look forward to. Yeah, they look forward to coming inside. Yeah, they look forward to the class itself. Maybe they look forward to me, I don't really know, but they definitely look forward to being with the other boys in boys class. So I know that I can group them that way, and I can treat them that way, and that I can get something out of them as kids because they feel happy and comfortable. And that's just like that. I have a All-Star Tumble class on Thursdays, and there's like some prep kids and there's some All-Star cheer kids, but every time a new kid comes to that class, because I think the time is just convenient, I introduce all of the kids to the new kid. They probably already know. They know most of the kids, but it takes 30 seconds to just say every single person's name. I'm awful with names, so I literally do it for myself, so I remember names, but then they remember names, and then they talk to each other. And then they feel a little bit better about class instead of like the drag or everything else that goes into class that might be a little stressful. They kind of get relaxed. They kind of feel happy about what they're doing just because they're making more friends. Okay, that's something that I don't know if we always think about. Why not give them another chance to make more friends in our classes? Why not show them being nice and happy and caring about other people and working together is important, even though you want a cartwheel and you want a back handspring. We're all in class. We're all the same age. We probably go to the same school. We should just be friends. And building those relationships, the ones that you're building with the kids and the ones that they can build together, will help your classes grow, and it'll maintain your classes, and it'll make your kids so happy. Third, R, responsibility. Okay, so we have to be held accountable to make positive changes. So we have to just understand and know the things that we do well. We have to be able to reference or not reference things. So we have to be able to reference or not reference the things that we do well and the things that we do bad. So you need to be proud of the things that you do positively if people are telling you, or if you just feel that you're doing it right, you need to be happy about that because you need to build off that. But you also need to know the things that you could do better so that you should stop doing that, or you understand why it happens and you make changes towards it. So that all goes to taking responsibility and being accountable for the things that you do. I'm getting lost, guys. I'm sorry. No, yeah, okay. Thanks for respecting that I can get lost. So another way that I think works for me really, really well, and I think that it would work for many people, is taking your tumble class and really treating it as if it were a team. So most of us have probably been on teams, if not coach teams, if not literally doing both right now. So you understand the idea of a team, okay? And when you group it into a team and you think about that, you can get a lot more done productivity-wise without even knowing it. So my example would be the class that I have with Charles and Blake on Thursdays at 4:30. And it's a Tumble 3 class, and in the beginning when that class first started happening and the three of us were put on it and those numbers were a thing, it was a lot of numbers, and it was like, we used to think of the class as like Girls from Power, and like Girls from Obsession, and then Girls from Love, and like that's what we used to, like that's just how we thought about the class. Like that's just what it was. That was the makeup because they were the new group together. Now 100%, like that is like our class. Like that class has a group me. Like they made a group me so that they can talk to. They don't talk. There's nothing in it, but they made a group me. We took a picture at a competition that they begged us to take all season, which means we had to get kids from all over the damn place to take this picture. And so they just they decided like that class was important to them. They decided that group was something that they wanted to hold tight to, and you think in the beginning, like that almost shouldn't be a thing. They're not even on the same team. Like they're not on the same team, like those skills that we work on, none of them can compete this year based on where their play is, but they took the idea of that team and what we got done and them being together so seriously that we consistently like ring the bell as a team because they work so hard and they hold themselves back and they push themselves forward together so often that they're getting a ton of skills together. They're gonna end up being a team. Like, they don't understand that they are doing that. They're planning their own future because they have this idea of togetherness right now. And they're working so hard together that they're becoming friends when they're not on the same team, they're not the same age. They're building skills together, so they're going to look good together. And we're probably going to sit down and decide that they can finally get to be together. That team itself, whenever it happens, it's going to have a badass mentality because they've already had it. And we don't know how that became a thing. We don't really know how we built that togetherness for that team because they did it. But we have to facilitate it, and we have to know that it's important, and we have to know that it's something we can look at classes to know that that's something that gets us a lot. I know those parents like that class. I watch them watch that class. I know those kids like that class. They never miss it. So it's just something to think about when you want an idea of a way to get to the point where you're taking a lot of extra effort and putting things towards your classes. Think about any, like reference cheer or any season of any sport. There's preparation. There's a lot of training that goes into it. There's application. You think about things, you talk about things, you put them into play. There's changes in problem solving. If someone gets hurt, if someone doesn't come today, if someone has this skill that they can kind of do in another one, but they want to get this skill, but they avoid that skill because they could do that skill, you have to fix that stuff. You have to hold them accountable and make them do it. You have to pat them on the back when they're feeling too stressed out and it's not that big of a deal. You have to be dynamic and think about problem solving the way you coach a team or the way you'd like to see your teammates function on a team. You don't just accept it because it's tumble class. You don't harp on them because it's just tumble class, but you really care about what they're doing and think about how they're doing it and think about how they feel about it because that's important to them. Whether or not they're saying it out loud, it's important to them. It's really important to their parents too. So you have to think about the tumble classes that way. It's still something that people value. It's still something that people pay for. It's still something that people come to this gym to do. And if you take it half as seriously as you take other things that we're really, really awesome at, we're going to make another part of our program amazing. So we just have to think about it that way. Just think about it like a team. Each tumble class that you go to is a team. Figure out how to make them work together. Figure out how to make them listen. Figure out how to make them have fun. You do those basics, then you get a ton of other things out of it. I think that the last thing that I do want to talk about when it comes to the team is outside resources that you can use to help. And so I'm going to have to use Lori. I was going to use a vet checker, but it's literally always Lori. And I have to just use Lori, and I have to remind you guys to think about how valuable Lori is and the checker itself is for what's going on, okay? I don't know the last time I filled out a promotion slip because Lori always volunteers to do it for me so that I don't have to leave my class. I can just come over and ask her for a kid's last name because I intend on doing it, and she'll be like, oh, I'll just write it up for you. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice, because guess what I can do now? Go finish my class and just pick up a promotion slip and hand it off. That's okay to do because she felt in that moment that's something she can help him do. If a kid gets hurt, Lori's on it. If a kid does a skill in the back corner on the flat mat, Lori's the kid like stands up from their round-off and Lori's like, sticker. So you understand, she really is engaged in like the way the day goes. She knows where every single coach is supposed to be at any given time. She knows probably more names for kids than I ever know. And she cares about the productivity of what we do. She cares a lot about us feeling not stressed and comfortable. She's constantly talking to us and saying, hey, can this help? Does this work? Can I do this? Did you know that? And it's like, people don't have that in life for anything. Like someone continually helping you stay on track. That is what the checker does for us, and I think that we need to respect really respect the checker, because the checker is a really great outside resource. I literally can consider Lori as valuable as Brandy is to cheer and as Janet is to gymnastics. That outside resource and that person, that eye that's like really looking and giving you 100% to help things get better is exactly what she does for us for tumble classes. And I think she's very, very important to the way that things shift and focus. So big, huge kudos to Lori. I really, really value you. I'm almost done. Withdrawals and promotions. One, Lori will help you out with promotions. Withdrawals, we just need to fight like we'd fight for anything else. If we had a team happening and a kid wants to quit because other sport this, or kind of got hurt and I can't do this for this week, we typically have a dialogue. Well, how long are you hurt for? What actually happened? What did the doctor say? Is it a money problem? Can we work with it? Is it this? Is something happening at school? How's home life? We have all these thoughts and ideas that we put towards keeping a kid for the team, but sometimes we're like, withdrawal, whatever. That's not a thing. They're that important. The second they don't feel that important, they should withdraw. They shouldn't be there. If they feel undervalued, if it's not that important, then they can go to Best, where Best might pretend that they're more important. It's that important. And it's that easy. I feel like off the top of our head, if we saw one of our favorite quote-unquote kids say that they want to leave for any reason, we'd all have a way to, some plan on how to keep them. But if a kid wants to leave a tumble class, they're just, it's just something we got to change. It's something we've got to decide is super important, because those tumble kids are for sure that favorite kid in literally a year, if that. They're for sure that kid right on All-Star team that we'll fight all of a sudden for now. We have to think about it that way. And if we think about it that way and just value all of the kids that come through the door, all of the parents that may or may not have the best way to deliver the information that they want to deliver or get, we just put that all aside and remind yourself that we're working with kids. And kids need to be important, because they are important to us, because they help pay our bills. The last thing I want to say that's not really crazy informative is that we are going to introduce Tumble 4-5 back. Yeah. The detailed information for that is coming soon with like talking to Julie and stuff, super staff news, and the structure is going to be close to where our Tumble 3s are right now, that we have multiple coaches on it. And we're just going to get to the point where we're splitting basically in the exact same scheduling those kids that can take that TLC to another level and those kids that aren't exactly right there, because the large grouping was a really, really great idea and it skyrocketed our skill set. But now we have to go do that in a higher level and separate 4-5. Eventually, we want to be 3, 4, and 5, because all of our kids are getting that much better at that rate, and that's what we want. So 4-5 is coming soon. Super exciting. Super exciting. To close,
Question.
yes.
Is it 4-5 combined or 4 and 5 split?
4-5.
It'll be 4-5 combined for now. We're just baby stepping.
Cool.
We want 3, 4, and 5 back eventually for sure. We want that to be the thing. There's baby stepping.
Cool.
In closing, I think we're on a whole new level when it comes to customer service. I think that our success with our athletes and the progress that we made is completely visible every single day. So really don't sell yourself short on anything that you're doing. We are really, really kicking ass. Sorry, we're doing super, super well. We really are, y'all. And this is just like me going over things that we can all think about, because you can never be perfect. You can never not keep doing better. And that's where we need to be as a program. So, I hope some of the things that we talked about we can work and use and exercise and try and move forward. And always feel free to email email me, stop me, talk to me, ask me about anything that you think can change, help, make things better. But it's all good. Thank you guys for working so hard.
All right, next up, Allison.
Right, I used this with
lower it.
You want me to lower
I'm
it?
not gonna hold on. Yeah. Okay, so for my section, obviously as cheer director, I'm gonna be talking about a lot of cheer stuff. The main thing for me is just really talking through the tryout process and explaining that to where we can all understand it, to where whenever we're recruiting for kids to be trying out for our program, that we can actually give good responses, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know, ask the front desk. Or, I don't know, just email cheer at, where we can actually talk to parents about what's going on. Because on the blanket flyer, I mean, there's just no way to put every single thing on there to really fully explain it. So that's what I'm gonna do now for y'all, so we can have that, and then I'll talk about a couple other things too. So with Wickham's R, if I say respect, mine's gonna be so I'm gonna try it. Respect! Roll your R. Respect. Closer? Okay, sorry. Okay, so starting with the tryout process, this won't really have a whole lot of respect talk in it, but just going over everything. So tryouts are going to start Monday, March 27th, which is the day after pep rally, and I'm going to talk about pep rally a little bit later on, but it's literally the next day, so we want to make sure at pep rally we're really hitting into that, but next day we're starting with tryouts. So it's going to be clinics for the first 2 or 3 weeks. So that March 27th through April 13th, minus those 3 days where we'll be in Daytona. I think it's the 5th, 6th, and 7th, where we'll be gone. There'll be clinics going Monday through Thursday. So those clinics are going to be broken up into kind of 3 different groups. So if someone that's wanting to try out only wants to do prep or show, and they've just kind of already decided that All-Star isn't a thing for them, they'll come to one time, which is 5 to 6:30. And then if they are level 1s and 2s, and that's based off tumbling skills, so if they're anything doing a forward roll, 3 to multiple back handsprings, they'll come from 6:30 to 8. And then if they're level 3 and up, meaning they have tucks or close to tucks, they'll be doing 8 to 9:30. So it's not required for people to come that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can come to however many you want. For all the cheerleaders that are currently cheering, all that's kind of included in their monthly tuition cost of April. So they can come 4 times a week, they can come 1 time a week, they can come twice. It's literally whatever they want to do. For the new people though, we are going to require them, and this is new, we kind of just talked about it. If they're a new member that's signing up, we are going to require but respectfully ask that they come to at least. I didn't think about that. But we are going to ask them to come to at least 2 of the clinics per week. Just because if they're a new kid and we say that it's optional, they might not come at all. And by the 14th, April 14th, that date we have to decide if they're prep, if they're show, or if they're all-star. So if we don't get to see the kid but 1 time, it's going to be kind of hard to make that decision with an hour and a half with upwards of 50 kids maybe that are at the same time to be able to really get to know them and really actually do a good evaluation. And if they do need to do a private tryout, we will offer that, but that'll just kind of be case by case basis. But we are going to try to keep it to the clinics just to keep it all together. And if a new kid comes in, let's say they come to the prep or show time and really they have a tuck, then we can talk to them. Hey, you need to come to this 8 to 9:30 time the next time you're here. Just kind of keep people informed on where they need to be, because hopefully with the great season that we've had so far and the showings we've had as far as cheer this entire season, we anticipate a lot of new people coming in, hopefully. So we're just going to have to really be on top of that and making sure that people are getting placed in the right spot, making sure we know all their names. We'll do name tags, all that fun stuff too, but just make sure we're really thinking about that, because that first 2 weeks, that's the decision of what they're going to be paying for the rest of the season. So after that, we can still make changes, but we want to be as close to that 100%, knowing exactly where they're at then, so we don't have to change it on parents and change it on us later. Because then after that 14th, so after we specify what they are, then they're going to go into different types of groups. So the groups that they'll go into after that are going to be based off kind of age and level. So that'll be the April 18th all the way through May 11th, I think minus the time that we're at Summit. And we'll be going all the way through then. So that, again, some groups will come on Mondays and Wednesdays. Those will be our all-star groups, and that'll just be determined by level on whatever time you come to. It's an hour and a half for both times. And then for All-Star Prep and Show, they'll come on Tuesdays and Thursdays for an hour and a half. And kind of the first part, like this first few weeks, we're just gonna be really seeing individual skills. So we'll work on like jumps, kind of like a camp. We'll work on jump technique, we'll see jumps, we'll work on tumbling, maybe do a little bit of stunting, but probably not too much in that first few weeks. Just because if we do have an influx of new kids, we want to be able to know where they're at. And then for that second kind of portion is where we'll do more of our stunting, because it'll kind of be more based on like, for coaches, we'll probably honestly have a really good idea of where teams are going to be at that point. And that'll be our chance as coaches to kind of play with people in stunt groups, see what's really going to work, what's not going to work, and then develop their tryout group. Because whenever they do tryout, I don't know if we know this, but they do tryout with a stunt group. And that they have to show a certain amount of stunts in a certain position as part of like their official like tryout day. So that's kind of like the big bulk first half, just individual skills, where are they going to be? Prep, show, all-star. And then second half, putting them into their tryout groups, which takes us into like our main tryout, which is going to be on May 13th as the official tryout day, and that'll be for all-star prep and for all-star. Show will not have to come and try out because it's show. So we don't need them to go in and try out and try to put us
Because I already won.
Yeah, they're already winners. Woo! Trophies like her. So that'll just be for all-star prep, and for all-star we'll do that. So tryout day's on the 13th. We have that 14th that's off. I believe that's Mother's Day, and then 15th we're gonna make the phone calls. And we'll do that same as every other year. We'll call them, tell them their team, tell them their practice time, all that information. That's more so just for coaches. We'll have our big meeting and all that crazy fun stuff whenever we get there to that. I guess a couple other things just for us to know for those that are kind of taking notes on what's going on. So for the first half, if it's a new member, they can pay $45 and come to as many of the clinics as they want. So they just pay that tryout package fee, and that takes you from the 27th through the 13th. And then after that, I believe we'll start the billing process for the next season. So they'll get kind of billed for the first time on Prep, Show, or All-Star.
Is there a small type-up for this that we can get afterwards?
Do what?
Is there like a small type-up of this information?
Yeah, I have it over here, so we'll get it all like finalized and stuff too, and I'll make sure, I can put it like for Super Staff News on the next one.
And it's in the E-Time.
Yeah, and it's in
Okay.
E-Times too, but this is just kind of a little bit more detail. And then if they don't want to do the $45 and they maybe just like want to come see what it's about, it's $5 per clinic. So if they just want to kind of come to one, just see, check it out, $5, and then after that, they can continue to pay the $5 per clinic if they want to show up to you, or they can pay for the $45 package where they can come in multiple times. Which definitely encourage for the new ones to do that $5 because the more we see them, the more they're at the gym, they can come like literally almost 12 times. The better we get to know your kid, the better we can evaluate where they're supposed to be at. So just make sure we're hitting that home to them too, that we want to do that package, and it's a really good deal. If they paid for that, otherwise it would be a lot more expensive than $45. Also new this year, we're gonna do a flyer tryout. So we're gonna have All-Star Prep kids come in at one time, and then we'll have ages after that for All-Star. If you have kids that you're either doing privates with, you see in class, or that say, I wanna be a flyer, we're kind of trying to make some requirements for that. So we want them to have the ability to do a stretch to stretch TikTok, meaning they can pull this stretch and they can switch and pull their other stretch. That's kind of the goal of where we want our baseline to be, because as far as our score sheets go, we have to be able to do that from 1 all the way to 5. To do a body-to-body position TikTok. So that's where we're gonna start that now, so we can get that flexibility built, so that way we can just be planned ahead for that. They're also gonna need a kick scale, which I can't show you. It's not that flexible at all, that's why it is. One of those. And then a kick scorpion as well. So those are just kind of, and that's gonna be more geared to like our all-star kids prep. We're not really expecting that, but we can still say that. It's not gonna hurt them to go home and work on doing a kick scale and a kick scorpion and working both body positions.
Are
Yes.
those kick scale and kick scorpion in a stunt or on the floor?
In a stunt. So whenever they come into like the flyer tryout, they will run it kind of like our elite class. We'll probably split them up into different groups based on age or level, just kind of depending on where we're at when we get there. And be able to, like each kid will go up on multiple groups. And we'll probably have some of like our junior staff come in too to be able to like make sure everyone's getting multiple reps in the air to be able to really, again, just see. So that way we can better clarify heading into the season who's gonna be an elite top girl or who's not. Because that's a conversation that we end up having all year long. So we just wanna kind of get that more set in stone, and for us as coaches too, it's really hard to have people switching in and out and not knowing who's gonna work there, who's gonna work there. We're gonna kinda have that baseline set. It can change, and it probably will, but we wanna have that more set up for people to have a better idea of what their role is on their teams, especially again for All-Star. We wanna really clarify, you are making this team as a main base. You are making this team as an elite top girl. You're making this team as a tumbler and a prep and pyramid. Just all those things, and just really spell it out for them, so that way we don't end up having to have those million conversations later on down the road, okay? Does anyone have any questions about the process of tryouts? I know that's kind of a lot of information, but do we have any questions on it? Cool, okay. So moving on,
I think you kind of went over it a little bit.
yes.
What if they're prep only, but they're doing back handsprints? You still want them to just come prep only?
They'll still come to the prep time, but if you want to encourage them, I would say let's encourage them to come to the level 2. And we can kind of look and see at that if we end up having, because I know a lot of ambition girls have back handsprings and want a prep level 2 team. So if we see that we have a lot of kids that could potentially be a team that we can make, once they're all there, then we can kind of make that a part of that level 1 and 2 time, and maybe just kind of join it together. But we'll just kind of see what it looks like and then talk to those people at that point. Kayla, did you have a question? Okay. No, it's just killing me. Okay, and then last thing about tryouts, just recruit. Okay, we don't need to find this kid that walks in and has a double full. We need to find the little kids that are 4 and 5 years old that really just want to try it and do it, and maybe can barely do a forward roll right now, and that's fine. Okay, we have show teams for that. We want to get them in our program as soon as possible. Because the sooner we can have them bought into us and bought into our program, we can develop them the way that we want and the way that we need them to be developed. So I know we all kind of look for the star athlete and who's going to be a shining star on every single team, but those kids that are at the lower level that are kind of like our diamonds in the rough are the ones that turn out to be those kids. One example, Jacqueline Hong. She tried out, she was only in tumbling classes for 3 years maybe. I was in Coach Dustin's class, finally decided to try out. She was on junior 2, back hamstrings were pretty crazy, wasn't in anything. She literally just kind of tumbled, brand new, would not have thought that she'd be the athlete she is now. And now she's on her senior level 4, she's a strong side base, she's a great performer, her tumbling technique is beautiful, she's our last pass for this upcoming competition. So, and that was a kid that whenever we met her 4 years ago or 5 years ago, you wouldn't have expected that. But Dustin talked to her and Dustin recruited her and she made team and she fell in love with it, and now look where she is now. And that's a kid that's starting out with a back handspring. We have so many that start out with not even a back bend, have come so far. So just if you have, especially the mini cheer, tumble classes, mini in youth, they don't really have a promotion system for them. Their promotion should be on team. That should be kind of their next step for them. And a lot of our best and biggest recruits are going to be from in this gen. Another example, Ryan Gagne. She did tumbling classes for forever. We literally begged her every year, please try out, please try out, please try out. Finally got her to try out, and she is amazing. One of the hardest workers on the team, best attitude, flawless technique in everything, stunting, we just have to remember that it's not just finding the best kid in your class to recruit that one kid. Recruit your whole class. There's a place for everyone. That's the great thing about cheer is that we have show, we have All-Star prep, we have All-Star for the ones that are ready for it. So anybody, 4 and up, tell them to sign up. If they're even remotely interested, find them a spot, and then after that, it's up to us to make them fall in love with it and to stick with it. Okay, so I just want us to really think about that whenever we're heading into these next few weeks and getting that started, okay? So really, that was the biggest bullet point, I promise, okay? I have 2 more that are not as long, okay? So the next one is respect. The hotline, guys, please respect the hotline, okay? That is probably, I just take it personally because I do the hotline. I know Caitlin does too, so we have our own little mini passion for it. But it really, it really is important for all of us to read it and to know what's going on. Because if we're requiring our kids to read the hotline every single week, and this is for both cheer and gymnastics right now, if we're telling our kids they have to read the hotline, they have to have the right clothes on, they have to do this, they have to do that, and we're not doing it ourselves, that's just not gonna work. Okay, we can't have like that double standard of it. You have to do it, but I don't. Even if we sit in the cheer meetings every single week, I know we all don't read the hotline because people come up and ask me questions, I'm like, it's on the hotline. And that's frustrating for whenever kids do that. It's frustrating when parents do that. It's the most frustrating whenever staff does that. Because that should be a basic standard of your job. If you're a full-time coach or even part-time in the gymnastics program or cheer program, you've got to know what's going on. It's just gonna save you stress later. You're only gonna get stressed out whenever you don't know what's happening. If you know what's happening and know what's going on in the gym, then you're probably not gonna be as stressed out. And that's just even for class coaches too, for you to know like when a major competition is, let's say for gymnastics. Gymnastics meet has this big competition coming up. Okay, I coach at Gym A. So if I know that my class is during the same time as team for gymnastics, I should probably not ask to go on bars or beam that week. I should probably just plan my class to be on the front floor, do more floor, do trampoline, or do vault that week because they have a meet coming up. So they actually need those apparatuses to be able to practice. Same thing with cheer competitions. I know we get really crazy a lot of cheer competitions, but knowing when you know that those competitions are, now you can plan ahead for that. Okay, sometimes I take my class to the back, which we gotta be better about in general, but sometimes I take my class to the back. But now I know that they have a cheer competition. They're gonna be probably doing a warm-up style. Their music's probably gonna be loud, so I probably just shouldn't go back there. I should probably just stay on the front to make sure that I respect that they have something coming up and that they need that space. Okay, so that's not only, obviously the biggest thing is for gymnastics and cheer coaches to be looking at that, for sure. But the more all of us can be in tune with what's going on at the gym, the better it's gonna be. And we already have our staff calendar that's super easy to look at, has everything on there too, and that's probably the easiest tool, but people ask questions all the time. People will just stop you, if they see an Excite shirt, they're just gonna stop you and ask you a question. And the worst thing, and that sounds like my mom right now, but the worst thing is saying, I don't know what's going on. So we just don't want to do that. Dang it. So yeah, and then if you have a question about something, just check the hotline first, see if it's there. If it's not there, then go ask. It shouldn't be go straight to the front office and ask the question, or straight to Caitlin, or straight to myself, or straight to Julie, or to Patty, or whoever. Do some research and try to find the answer yourself first. Then if you really can't find it, then go and ask. Take responsibility for your question. Don't just assume that it wasn't on there. Because you know what, maybe it wasn't on there, and then if you go and look and it wasn't on there, and you come and ask me, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to put that on the hotline this week. Thank you for letting me know. Now I know I can go and fix that and change it. Okay, it's not just for us to be doing it too, it's also double checking Caitlin and I to make sure we're doing everything correct on there too. Because I know that I've messed up dates before, I know that I've forgotten to put sections on there before. I am not perfect with hotline by any means. But it's kind of like frustrating whenever I get it done and I post it and then it's like 2 weeks later like, oh, well you forgot to do this. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me when it came out? I would have fixed it, I would have gotten mad if I'm messing up. Like, especially for those two things that everyone relies on, we have to know that. So we can go in and fix it so we're not giving out the wrong information to parents. Because then it makes them frustrated and then it just becomes this whole circle. So it's not only for y'all to know the information, it's for us to be double checked too. Because we aren't perfect, we're never going to claim to be perfect, but we need help. We only have one set of eyes each. Okay? So just help us out with that too. Okay, last thing is respect. The pep rally! Yay! So, pep rally stuff. Main thing I'm going over is just kind of the expectation that we need to have for staff at the pep rally. Like I said earlier, pep rally is literally the day before tryouts start for cheer. So we're going to be hitting at cheer tryouts, start to finish, all of pep rally, almost to where it's annoying, okay? Because we want everybody to sign up, we want everyone that's coming in to watch to be able to sign up. We have a really big opportunity this year where we have Stephen F. Austin and UNT are both going to come and perform at our pep rally, which is like really, really awesome. SFA is bringing 3 teams with them to perform, and then UNT has 1. Like that's 4 college teams that are going to be competing, or not competing, but going to be showing off at our pep rally. So that's a huge way we can get recruitment. all those big sisters that are on SFA or UNT that are gonna come and watch their older sister cheer, they're gonna watch our teams first. They're gonna watch what's going on. And what we wanna do is just, like anything else, we wanna make the kids just want to be a part of the gym. So if we're walking around, no matter what your job is, whether it's a big job, a small job, you need to have a smile on your face, you need to look presentable, you need to be put together, and you need to have energy start to finish. Because we just can't have that one person that's standing there like this, just waiting, yeah, the vendors are over there. Oh, I don't know where you go to meet your team. Oh yeah, like that's just, what kid is gonna wanna come cheer for you when you're standing like this? Whether you're a cheer coach or not, this does not project a very good image. Like, oh, vendors are right over there, you right over there, guys, we're gonna have so much fun today, are you so excited? It's gonna be the best ever! You should try out, how old are you? Like, to every person that walks by you. For real. You're the cutest kid I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I love you.
The senior.
Yeah. You got it. But we just have to have our faces on the entire time. Because I know pep rally is long, I know it's a long day, and I know that most of us aren't involved in the cheer program, so it might seem silly and stupid, but every kid that we get to sign up could be bringing more people to this gym. So this cheerleader signs up, they're 5. They have a little brother who's 3 that is in soccer but wants to do gymnastics so he can get more flexible. So then we got little brother in our Shining Stars class. Then they have an older sister who does track but just wants to tumble, just wants to learn how to tumble so they can do a round up handspring across the track one day for fun, because why not? So now we have another Tumble 1 kid that's older. Then they talk to their friends at school. Oh, I go to Excite, the coaches are so nice there, they're really awesome, they're so much fun. Then we're getting that whole slew of people, and it really takes that one little person to sign up to be able to just get 20 new kids, and like that. As long as they're coming here, they're having a positive experience, like what Wickham was talking about, and that we just have fun with the kids and make them love us. Okay, we're a great gym, we're all great people, we just have to remember that it's the projection that we put off that Charles is going to talk about here in a little bit, but what the kids are seeing and if they want to be a part of it. Same thing if we're coaching classes or if we're at the pep rally, a team is going and now we don't have the stress of NCAA after it, so that's awesome. But we need to be up and down, clapping like crazy for every single team, even if like a stunt falls to the ground. We can't be like, oh, Susie messed up again, you know, like we can't be like that in the middle because then the kid's gonna be like, I don't want to be with them, be with me, they look rude. So just think about the image that we're projecting. And again, that's a coach, that's if you're at wherever you are, whatever your job assignment is in the pep rally, just please have a smile on your face the whole time. Because the more kids we can get in through our cheer program, just like any other program, it's gonna add to every other program in this gym. Because we do offer so much. Okay, birthday parties, everything. You don't even have to be in classes. There's so much here for you to do. And we want all the people to know and realize that, but we gotta get them in the door first. Okay, so I think that's everything I have. So
Caitlin, you're up. Yay.
Bro.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about gymnastics with preschool and recreational and teen. The first thing I want to talk about is preschool and the importance of our curriculum. Stacy spent so much time making all of those curriculums, and we have them for a reason. It's so that we can stay consistent from class to class. So if somebody's doing a makeup class or something like that, we know that we're giving the same product to all of our kids. And it's also to build certain skills, both mental abilities and physical abilities, throwing a ball, catching a ball, something. Excuse me. But whenever some classes are following it and some are not, that takes away from the consistency of those classes. And so now, one shooting star might be at a completely different place than another shooting star class. And then that comes into, whenever coaches are covering classes too, they are coming into something that they're not expecting. If I say respect, you have to bark. but it's giving that respect to your to be following the curriculum and to be following the guidelines that we have in place to make sure that our preschool program is as strong as it can be. Because that preschool program turns into our cheer program and our gymnastics. The little 3-year-olds coming in, even if they want to do cheer, they start in this room. They start in the gymnastics program. So it's really, really important that we have a lot of enthusiasm with them and that we're following the schedule and the theme as much as possible to give them the best experience that they can have to where they want to stay here and they want to be a part of this gym and see the big girls out there and be a part of that program. Also going along with that in this room, body language whenever we're coaching and actively hands-on from beginning to end. That's during stretches, during warm-up, during events, obviously during the game. The parents are right there. They can see us. The parents are right there even from the outside. So if you're standing there on the house and thing like this, or I stand like this and that's how I'm comfy, but I can't do that whenever I'm working, especially with little ones. Because this isn't putting off a good, loving image to the kids. And they see it so much more than you realize. It's little things like getting down on their level when you're talking to them, when it's a new person coming in. You don't want to talk down to a kid, you want to get down and eye level with them and really make them feel as comfortable as you can. Touching on what Wickham said earlier, they don't hang out with adults. They don't know us. They come in the door and they're nervous, they're scared. It's our job to make them as comfortable as we can coming into this new environment. With the games, still with the curriculum and everything, we have to follow the correct games. I know it's easier to take them out to the pit, and sometimes we might have structured pit things like pit races or throwing pit blocks because we know they love it, so we should incorporate that sometimes. But that's just an easy way out, and that's lazy coaching. So it's really important to follow the games, make them fun, make them exciting for the kids, because we are trying to teach them those skills. It's gross motor skills, fine motor skills. We switch around, and then also if you are playing with the bouncy balls one week that you're not supposed to, and then the next week they're supposed to play with the bouncy balls, then it's just the same thing over and over and it gets boring and it takes away from what we're trying to build with this program. I'm going to talk about promotions with all of the gymnastics here in a little bit. But one other thing with preschool, just cleaning up this room. I feel like I spend so much time cleaning up, and I'm sure other people do too, but just putting things back where they go. Not just not knowing, so you put something down. Every single thing in this gym has a label on it. The label makers have labels on it. So, if you ever need to figure out where something is, look. Like Allison said, look, it's right there and you can find it, I promise you. If you can't find it, grab me, grab Destiny, grab Haley, grab somebody who knows where things are or where they should be, and we can help you. But look first, try to figure it out on your own, because that's also going to teach you. Somebody tells you something, then you don't really think about it. With recreational gymnastics, same types of things, cleaning up mats after yourself, not just leaving them there whenever you're about to go to vault or bars or whatever and cleaning them up after, because there's so many classes coming in and out and in and out that if you leave them there, then another class has to warm up, but then there's still mats there, and then that is disrespectful. To the other coaches who have classes coming in after yours. So just remembering to do your job. It's nobody else's job to clean up your mats after your class. It's yours. Keeping your kids on the front floor, especially with, well, for sure with recreational classes, things like a all-star tumble too, those are more okay to take to the back floor if you need to. But the little ones with the 5-year-olds and gym A's and gym B's really need to stay on the front floor so the parents can watch them. Like Wickham said, they come one time a week and their parents are here, they want to watch them, and it's hard to see way back there. There's mirrors in here. If this room is open for cheer classes, there's mirrors over by the ninja wall if you need it for jumps or something, but staying up on the front floor is really important. And then again, just cleaning up the mats and making sure that they look good over there. I see so many times people just throwing them and leaving them, and that looks a mess. And whenever a new person's coming in the gym, That's one of the first things they see. It's right there. They come in, they check in with Lori, and the mats are right there looking crazy. So just keeping the gym clean and presentable at all times is really, really important.
If like 2 new mats show up every week that I have no idea where they came from. What is this mat?
I've been trying to clear out some of these mats, like, because we had a lot of them, so that might be me.
Then you're gonna be like, what is this?
So then with team and what we're looking for our gym team. Level 1, they do a handstand, a cartwheel, a backward roll, a candlestick. That's their floor routine. Like, it's not like they need back handspins to be on this team. We're looking for kids who can pay attention, make changes, have some sort of body awareness, and be able to maybe not fall on their face. That would be one skill that we want in a handstand. But like Allison said, the diamonds and the little ones who just have passion for it and love it and can take instruction and make changes, and straight legs and pointed toes would be awesome. But skills, we can get them skills. The passion and stuff like that, that's harder to find or to create if they don't have that. So yeah, just people who love it and want to do it and pay attention and are self-motivated and can like be on a beam and keep working by themselves as you're walking around and helping other people. I have this one girl who I'll walk away from her for 3 seconds and she's like, Coach Kim, come spot me. And it's like, I have 7 other, like, I'm making my rounds, I'm getting to you, I promise. And she does it because she's excited, and so I love that part of it. But she's not, in my eyes, disciplined enough to be on team because she has to have that constant one-on-one the entire time.
How long does that have to be on team?
5. So, that's really all I have. I have this promotion thing, hold on. Promotion.
Yeah, no, seniors.
So these are just the promotions
What is motion?
of all the gymnastics. So preschool classes, there's Shining, Shooting, Hot Shots 1, Hot Shots 2. Shining Stars, it has to be potty trained, that's the requirement. But in Hot Shots 2, we kind of see as our preschool preteen. Those are the kids that really pay attention, that we want that entire class to come into our team next year. Shining and Shooting. The biggest difference in that is just age. There shouldn't really be a 5-year-old who's in a Shining Star. They need to be in a Shooting Star. Shining Stars aren't really supposed to do bridges. We have always kind of done them. I just always make sure that I'm spotting them if we do them. I don't leave them by themselves doing them. Shooting Stars has to be promoted out of shooting at 6 years old. They can either go to a Gym A or a Hot Shot 1. So if a Shooting Star isn't ready for a Hot Shot 1, then that's when they would switch to Gym A. Because those are kind of the same skill sets, working on handstands, working on cartwheels, things like that. Just older. I have promoted people who did that, so from a shooting to a Gym A, then they got ready for a Hot Shot and they were 6 years old, so I moved them back into Hot Shots 1 to be back on this track. Does that make sense why you would do that? And then Hot Shots 2, like I said, is our preteen. At the in-house meet, we want our Hot Shots 2 to actually do our level 1 routines, to give them any idea. So that's going to be super fun.
That's my class.
Gym A is 6 years old and over. It's just introducing skills. There's going to be some kids in that class who don't know what straight arms mean. They're going to put their hands down and fall on their face. So remembering that it's so easy for us, so sometimes we forget to explain those little things, but teaching them what straight arms mean. And if it's not working, don't just say the same thing over and over and over again. Figure out something different. Help them. Get down. Spot them. There's always something you can do to make the kid feel like they're getting it. If you just have them try the same drill over and over and over again, they're going to end up feeling defeated. So changing things up and coaching that kid, not just coaching that skill, if that makes sense. You want to be coaching each kid individually, and every single kid is going to learn something in a different way. So you have to remember to be versatile as a coach and change your plan if it's not working, and be able to say, okay, well that's not working, here's this mat, try it this way. You can't do a TikTok, try a donkey kick. To get that arm strength, and then try it with one foot in front. Give them stepping stones to where they're, what?
That's a donkey.
To where they are feeling like they're progressing, even if it's just baby steps. Advanced gym, to get into that class, you have to have a chin up pull over, back hip circle, back bend kick over, and a cartwheel dismount on beam. That's kind of like, it's a longer class, so you give them a little bit more freedom. It's more of like an open bar workout, so that's kind of starting to get the team mentality. But then from there, they go to pre-team, where they do a Wednesday class, which is exactly like an advanced gym, but then they also come different times. So that's just.
Yeah, I have a comment. Go along with what Wickham said about kind of coaching the classes as a team. Gym A and Gym B, the ones that I coach, I'll teach them like the level 1 routine or the level 2 routines, and it's been a hit.
Yeah.
And like every time we do it, I'm like, it's like subliminal messaging. Like gym, I feel like I say gym team like 1,000 times until they finally hear it. And they're like, oh, gym, this is what they compete. So
And it makes it like
love it.
more reasonable goal. It's like you're doing level 1 routine right now.
Exactly.
Like, these are skills that level 3 kids do.
Tell them, well, hey, you see those girls over there? Well, they were level 2 or they were level 3 last year, and you're doing what they were doing. Look how good they are now. Like, and they're just like, oh, really? I could be that. So that's a pretty good tip.
When are our gym team tryouts? Have we talked about that?
May.
May 13th.
It's in the E-Times.
There's one right after
May 23rd and May 26th.
Such a 21-year-old relationship.
It'll be right after the in-house meet, so we'll have a really good push, because this year the in-house meet is mandatory, so every gymnast, shiny shooting, AD, advanced is going through our meet this year.
So it's kind of the same idea as the pep rally to cheer child and in-house meet to but for everybody working the in-house meet, be watching for kids to invite. We're gonna have like these individualized invitations. We're gonna give everybody a flyer probably, but then invitations with names on it to the ones that we really, really see potential with. And like I said, that doesn't have to be the kid with perfect skills. It's the kid who is trying hard and is focused and is following instructions and makes changes. So just for future reference, try to start thinking of some of those kids.
Right. We have like 5-6 minute break and then right back in, so if you need to go take a little potty break, take it, grab a snack, grab a soda, grab. Go Patty!
I've covered 3 areas of respect. Respect our 110% customer service philosophy. Respect our multiple areas of communication, and respect your coworkers.
What are we doing with the
So
word?
each time I use the
I was like, she said this 3 times, I'm supposed to be doing something.
moving forward, each time I say the word respect, you say rah rah. Okay? So 110% customer service, respect our philosophy. During our office staff meetings, we talk about our 110% customer service philosophy all the time. We try to give our customers everything they need. And it starts the minute they make their first phone call to us, send in their first email, walk to the door, or walk out our door. So it starts in the front office, it goes out to the gym floor, and it comes back to the front office again. So to give the 100% customer service, we need to be smiling all the time. We need to be happy. We need to be upbeat. We need to be available to answer questions, know the answers to their questions. And one staff person kind of stands out to me as providing 110% all the time, and that would be Coach Stacy. Everybody loves Coach Stacy, and she's a great example to follow. So our customer service extends beyond just our customers. They extend to our partner programs as well, because our partner programs are using our facility here. So we need to be providing their customers our 110%. We need to provide them, if they have requests or if they have questions, then we need to be there for them as well. It also goes to our PE programs, which we've got great coaches that go to our PE schools every week. Our high school programs, our events that we participate in. So at all times, we need to be providing 110% customer service. Respect our communication. So can you guys list all the different means of communications that we provide?
Hotline.
E-times.
Hot news. Hot news. What else?
Super Staff News.
Super Staff News.
Everything exciting.
What's that?
Everything exciting.
That's good. Everything exciting?
Instagram.
Flyers, Facebook, our website. So we have so many different, our app. That's good. We have so many means of communication.
2 weeks ago.
Alright, Allison.
So we need to know everything that's out there. So when people come and ask us questions, we can answer them. You know, Allison touched on it. As long as we know what's going on, then we can share it with our customers, our newcomers, you know, the new people walking through the door. So it's all of our responsibility to know that information. Read it and know it. If you go and ask somebody a question and you haven't taken the time to maybe go find it yourself, then you're just being lazy. So, you know, the hotlines are important for everybody. The hot deals are important for everybody. All the communication that we put out there is important for everybody. I love the parent that comes in, you know, the day after spring break, and they're like, well, you didn't email me telling me we had no classes last week.
That's gonna happen.
And we can't email 800 families individually. We put it out there, you know, even one of the items we didn't mention was the marquee. The marquee is a great communication that we use. So if you guys know it and can share it, then everybody will be on the same page. So one person that keeps up with a lot of the communication, because she helps with the calendar, would be Jackie Bodie.
Getting some love.
But you know, this is kind of a repeat, so respect our calendar that's out there. Our calendar is, you know, where you're gonna find all the information. And respect the amount of time that goes into our communications. You know, Allison and Caitlin have to take the time to write the hotlines. Julie has to take the time to write the Super Staff News. John and Donnie take the time to update the website. So just respect all those people's time to get that information out to you and our customers as well. Okay, respect each other as coworkers. So I want everybody to turn to the person at their left. And I want each one of you to tell the person to your left something good about them.
Brooke, you made the JV team. Congrats. That's good news.
You're really good with
Can you whistle? Okay, so, telling each other something nice about the other person made that person feel good. And, you know, as coworkers, we all deserve each other's respect. So there's many different ways you can show that respect by, you know, smiling at the person, saying something nice to the person, building that person up. It's just common courtesy. And, you know, I know we all have different personalities. We might not see eye to eye all the time, but
Some people are intimidating.
I am not intimidating. But I need to grab some water.
I'm thirsty.
I did not.
I'm not intimidating.
Just
Okay, so, like I was saying, we don't always see eye to eye, we don't always agree, our personalities might clash, but we come here every day to work, and we're part of the Ohana family, and we need to respect each other, treat each other. It's very hard to witness someone being disrespectful to another person. And it's just not right. So, moving forward, let's take the time to be kind to each other, to, you know, talk to each other, to care about each other. You don't know what's going on in that person's life before they got here. So someone might be projecting a bad mood. But, you know, take the time to ask them, you know, what's going on? How can I help? So, one person in this room to me who stands out, who respects all of us. Not Julie, I can't use Julie, but would be Mark Raber. Respects each one of us individually, you know, whether we're on the gym floor or we're in the front office, whether we're a gymnastics coach, cheer coach, junior staff. But, you know, going forward, let's just respect each other. And by doing so, you'll enjoy your job, you'll have more fun, you'll be more happy, and it'll be a great place to work.
Hey, John. Didn't you just like call us ladies? Yeah, Mark.
So mine probably won't be as extensive as like Wickham and Allison's and Caitlin's and stuff. Just because it's basically based upon appearance and how you carry yourself with coaching teams, with coaching classes, with what you wear to work, with how you present yourself at work. Just basically what you look like and your imagery that you give off. So my big thing in classes is I like to be really crazy and talk like this because a parent can't hear me from the parent waiting room, but they can see me if I'm like going crazy. And in my head, that just, for me, that shows me that I'm more involved. I don't know why. But if I'm like this, or if I'm coaching like this, I would rather watch a coach that's like this.
Especially when you get in the face.
So my biggest thing is nonverbal, so I'm not gonna make you say a word when I say the word respect. I'm gonna make you do a sign language R, because that's nonverbal. And you just crush it. I wanted to do, but Allison wanted it first, so. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is respecting your own appearance. So that's taking pride in whenever you wake up every day and coming to work. Yes, I know that we work at a gym and it's comfortable and we can wear basically pajamas to work. We can wear sweatpants, we can wear shorts, we can be comfortable. But you need to take pride and respect your appearance. So appropriate athletic wear should be worn at all times. I know that like as athletes, we like girls can wear like Spankies or like motion flex shorts. As coaches, we don't want to put off like any vibe that could be too sexual or too aggressive. So as female coaches, we ask that you don't wear like Spankies or motion flex shorts. You wear like Haley, are you wearing like a loose short? Yeah, like a loose short like that. That's not tight fitting, that's not like a Spanky, that's not like spandex. If you do wear spandex, it's something like Allison always is in like a spandex capri or like a spandex like that is just a little bit more appropriate because it's not like exposing your entire body off to whatever. I'm gonna quote the employee manual probably like 3 or 4 times just because we all have the employee manual, we've all read the employee manual, or you're supposed to have read the employee manual, and you've all signed the employee manual as an agreement for us and for Julie and for you to work in this environment. And the employee manual says short shorts or hot pant-like shorts are not to be worn, and shorts should be an appropriate length. Non-coaching staff may wear appropriate length shorts, capris, long pants, and denim, khaki, or a matching shirt color. So I'm just going to quote the employee manual just a few times just because I felt that that was appropriate in this spiel. The next thing is that it must be an Excite shirt or just a plain athletic shirt. I know that I wear Nike a lot. Wickham is obsessed with Lululemon, so he wears Lululemon a lot. You can go to Walmart and buy Russell. We just ask that you stick to the color code and that it's like those shirts are plain. They're not like, you don't wear a shirt that says like Top Gun All Stars if it's a black shirt on a Tuesday. You know, we ask that you don't wear an old program shirt, not an old school shirt, nothing like that. So I'm sure that we all know this, but on Mondays we wear red, Tuesdays we wear black, Wednesdays we wear pink, or white, or gray. Just kidding. Save your pink attention. Thursday and Friday are any Excite shirt. Saturday is black, and then Sunday is any shirt. Sunday is a little bit more free because we don't really have parents in the gym. So, I mean, as cheer staff, we're a little bit more lenient on that. I got permission from my director to say that too, so that's what I can say.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How do we handle kids wearing other programs' clothes?
As far as I'm concerned, I've done it multiple times. I just ask that they politely either turn their shirt inside out, if they have a different shirt that they could change, if they have a jacket that they could put on over it. I know that I've had a couple of instances where I've had to do that personally, and typically the kids aren't super, they kind of understand, but like that's just our policy that we don't allow a kid walking in to wear like a CA sports bra or something.
College, high school stunt night. Because I've seen some kids walk in with like CA or.
I personally, if I see it, I immediately tell them to
Like Matt Finney wore a vest, something to like the Louisville and Liberty
But
Beach
it's
show
okay,
off.
it is okay
Then
to
he has to turn
say
it
they
inside
respect.
out.
Absolutely,
Okay.
respectfully.
And then whenever he was like, well, I gotta do that, I work there, I'm like, see, I'm turning on
and
here.
say, if you don't mind, it's just our policy.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind turning your
Or
shirt inside out.
You can buy a shirt right in there in a little pro shop.
Just something like that along those lines. I know that I'm really bad at this and I need to be better about it. As far as like shoes are concerned, we just ask that you are always in a tennis shoe or you're completely barefoot. I know that I like run around in socks a lot, but I can't do that anymore. So it's
Yeah, I got
either
another one.
a tennis shoe or completely barefoot.
We're talking about shirts. There's and this is respectfully, sometimes we have some kids come in and wear, our kids that will wear like old Phoenix shirts. So
Right.
how do we, is that okay? Like,
Phoenix was a fundraiser.
Yeah,
We
it was a
sold
fundraiser,
shirts.
so,
That's a good question.
yeah, that's just really,
Yeah, I've never thought about that personally because as Julie just said, that's just been a fundraiser that we did. We sold them the shirts, they were supporting like us as
right,
coaches.
so,
So,
okay. Or like Lady Cats too. you
Yeah,
know.
I just, when I bought them, I told them not to wear it,
Okay.
because I see a huge on the back, so I was like.
And I've never been like, pulled
Yeah.
off if it's Phoenix to that, but I think that's something maybe we could all
that is a
hear.
good question.
maybe learn.
Good question.
Yeah.
Class three line.
I respect that question. It's about the employee manuals, and it says that coaches may coach in athletic shoes or barefoot. No sandals or flip-flops or UGG boot type shoes may be worn while coaching.
You have that, you gotta go.
Females, I'm gonna hit on you guys a little bit just because I have to. Your hair needs to be managed, straightened neatly or in a neat ponytail. The employee manual says again that the hair should be neat and clean and pulled away from the face. It's a safety issue, especially when spotting students. having a hair in a ponytail preferred with longer hair, no messy buns, more professional, clean look to your hair. And then males, you need to have a maintained, like,
Is that not okay?
I'm just reading.
You know,
Yeah, I want to split mine too sometimes.
I mean, I think as long as
I
it
think
doesn't look
as long as it
crazy,
doesn't look
it's like-
crazy,
As
Some
long as
people
I
can
can
do it.
gingers the way you left the White House.
like if Caitlin's hair was
Now it's like January.
it's okay right now. But if your hair was just like Caitlin.
Haley, you look fantastic.
That was-
You look marvelous.
I do that too.
Now Mark, your hair we need to talk about. I know that sometimes I'm pretty guilty of this. If I don't put product in my hair, I try to always make it a point to wear a hat so that at least I look somewhat presentable, because I know that my hair will be like all sorts of crazy if I don't maintain it. And if you do wear a hat, just try to make it an Excite hat if you have one, and if not, just try to make it a plain basic red, black, white, something like that. Females, makeup's not required, it's encouraged though. So, I mean, we tell our cheer teams to get ready and look ready for practice, so I think that as going to work, you should get ready and you should look good for work as well. If you had a 9 to 5, you wouldn't be able to roll out of bed, put a messy bun in, put on some sweatpants and go to work, you know? You need to take pride in your job, you need to take respect in the fact that you have a job and that you are getting a paycheck. And that parents do see that and families do see that. And appearance is number one. If you were to walk in as a parent who've never been here before and you would see a coach that looks a hot mess, their hair is crazy, their eyeliner is smeared, you know, they're wearing like a shirt that's all cut and they look crazy, or you see someone that's always put together and that always looks nice, like Allison always puts her face on and her hair is always straight. Granted, that's the way it dries, but she's just lucky with She always looks put together with her makeup, her hair, she always looks presentable to a parent, stuff like that. Guys, I know we don't really have to wear makeup, thank God. I'm guilty about this too, as far as like clean shaving my face. I don't shave it with a razor every day, but I do have an electric razor and I try to make sure that I clean up my cheeks and whatnot on a daily basis. Junior staff, respect that you have been chosen to be a junior staff. I'm gonna kind of call you out right now because you kind of look like a crazy person a lot at work. And like right now, if you were to just stand up for me, you have 2 different socks on, your hair is crazy, you have no makeup on. I love you to death, but as far as a professional work standpoint, it's just a little crazy.
This outfit is not working.
No, but the entire like makeup, your hair, I was like, at me.
I was like, should I give her a warning that I'm gonna call her out? I was like, you walked in today in Uggs and like 2 different socks. I was like, yes!
Nailed it.
I can't wait to call her out. She's crazy, but I can't wait.
Who dresses you?
We're getting ready for college.
Senior
So I know that like as junior staffers, typically you have to like, most of you are on cheer teams or whatnot, so you have to like go straight from coaching to cheer team. So like again, the motion flex shorts, even if you were to just pull on a loose athletic short over that, so you're not in tight clothes like that, it's just not suggestive. Your hair is up. And if you have to change, and this is for anyone, not just junior staff, I just know that it's more relevant with junior staff because you change and then you go to practice. Make sure you're in a controlled environment, like a bathroom or a door shut, so you're not like in a sports bra and you're like changing and then you're like putting on your other shirt and you're completely exposing everything to the naked eye of the parents. So we just ask that you're cognitive of that in preparation to changing for practice. Respect the imagery that you put off to parents and athletes. 2 people that really stick out to me as far as junior staffers that always pretty much look the part. I think Brooke, you always look really together. You're always in like leggings and capris, you're always in tennis shoes, your hair's always up. You always look really engaged when you're working with Dream. I respect that a lot. And then, she's not here right now, but Allie McDaniel typically always looks really together as far as being a junior staffer, making sure she's in the correct color shirt, making sure that her hair is up, her makeup is on, stuff like that. And then that's pretty much all I kind of have to cover. The only thing that I didn't really cover was just
Question.
yes.
Sorry, will you talk about the mannequin challenge thing that Julie was talking about?
Oh yeah.
I meant to, but I forgot, but I thought
Yeah.
that was like a
So I'm getting to the point of like body language and kind of coaching. I like try to talk like this a lot, and I kind of talked about it in the beginning of my spiel. We don't ever want to sit down when we're coaching. We don't ever want to be leaning and coaching like this. I know that I spot a lot, but if I do, I try to like get on a kid's level and spot, and if I'm not spotting, I try to get up. Sometimes it takes a minute because bones are old, but that's okay. Just try to always look like you're being engaging. Even if they're doing a handstand, I always try to like grab a kid, place them out, like talk with my hands really aggressively. And Julie had brought up the point when we were at our manager meeting that if it was a mannequin challenge, and if you were coaching an athlete and it stopped, and if you were coaching like this,
And having people that love this gym as much as I love this gym and care about the word we put out there and the promise we make to our customers. We have gone up in the last year. We have gone up in students, in classes. Now, this could be a student taking 2 classes, okay? They just count kind of heads in 1 year. And this is based on y'all. Anyone want to guess?
Is it a number or percent?
Number.
A lot.
I don't have time. Well, and even the office challenge has been great fun, and they got a whole reality check, and I don't know if y'all really realized it. What I challenged the office to do for a little fun bonus reward was to put Post-it notes up on the file cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
And every time someone withdrew, they had to move them over here. Every time somebody withdrew, when somebody enrolled, they got to put it on the plus side. I said, all you gotta do is hit, like, get 30 more. And they saw directly how hard that was. And you know, it isn't that easy because they'd be building up and then all of a sudden the withdrawals. Well, everybody then was caring about the withdrawals, and that's all you need is everybody caring. Care more, do more. Care more, do more. Care more, do more. About anything else. So the number. 241. And I will tell you, that takes
I was right.
that is the talent in this room, and I thank y'all and I respect y'all for caring about this gym and doing what you can do to get there. But please realize moving forward that we are going to have continue with these strong lines. This gym deserves it. The staff here, everybody that's really bought in, doing 150%, working the hours we work to make it phenomenal. I'm going to fight, and I'm not going to let anything be less than that, because we all deserve that. Because our reputation is all of us, it's not a singular thing. So the other thing I have to say I respect is, you know what, is, you know, there's certain people that every time you ask them to do something, then I just want to, you know, do a little call out that they're like, sure, fine, I'll do it. And of course, you know, we've got, and I have to separate. And I don't do this in a trying to like hockey way. Cheer is a whole different beast, and I think we all respect what the cheer coaches do. And I'm not sticking up for them over someone else, but I am telling you, it is 4 days a week having to leave town, 20 days without a day off. Okay, it's having to spend the night and sleep on sofas and all of us 3 to a bed to try to save money to make sure we do the best for our parents and everybody. It's being away from your home. It's being here at 9:30 at night. So there is that. I want to do a huge kudos first to the coaching staff and the cheer staff that has given more than enough for and stuff. And then you've got gymnasts and gymnastics, then they have meets that are very long. Let me tell you what, there can be long days.
They're not as loud.
So we have the gymnastics, team, and I respect that these guys I don't think everybody knows what all is involved in this team coaching thing. This is not pretty. This is not the job. If I went up to you and said, hey, you can work, and guess what, for about 9 months, you may never see your family. And for 9 months, you're gonna be spending the night with me in a room, with all 6 of us. And then you're gonna go here, and then you're gonna go, and then you're gonna get yelled at and screamed at. And oh, by the way, you get to work till 9:30 at night, and you get to work weekends. Great job. No, okay? All right, so, like I said, on the team aspect, with all the team coaches in here, that I really do like that. Then on the other side, you've got the office, and the call-ups for me, I really want to do, every time I ask anybody to do something, there's so many people that have been so great. Like I said, the office has really done, but Caitlin and Destiny and Blake and Patty have gone above and beyond with everything. But it's like, you know what, can you come in today? Sure. Can you go tomorrow? And the good thing is y'all aren't mad at me for asking you. And I really appreciate that. And you don't go and bitch about me afterwards for asking you. And I really appreciate that, And so, but every time I ask, can you come in? Can you do this? Can you go do that? Okay, can you stay late? Can you come in early? And Destiny finally just looked at me one day and said, just tell me what you want me to do, I don't care. And I was like, okay, 3:30 hot shots, 4:30 this, and then 5:30 this. Oh, and can you stay on tonight? And by the way, can you go let my dog out of my house? No, I didn't ask her that. I haven't asked you that yet. So anyway, and I think that they do always raise their hands, and I appreciate it. I also really, really respect people that follow the rules that we have in place, and these are what we need. Scheduling, confirming, declining, finding subs, letting us know what we do. The one big thing to know about this company, this is not an eye gym. This is not a cheer gym or a gymnastic gym or a preschool gym. We are a total working part. The people that have to be in the loop have to be in the loop. We cannot fly solo. We cannot fly, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Same thing Caitlin said with curriculum. Curriculum is developed based on it makes us great. It's successful, it's consistent, and we all have to be kept to that. So when people keep to the systems we have in place, there's less annoyance, there's less people getting upset, there's a lot of less things. Hence to moving towards facility, the guys have done a great job on facility. We are in but we need to develop a system a little bit more on that, because the thing you don't know is I'm giving them a whole list every week. We meet like everybody else does. Yeah, like you see them roll their eyes? Yeah. And so we're going to establish a facility. We have facility you have to email in on facility, because then that way we can, I don't mind bumping my list to put someone's list in front of it. I just have to know what the list is, so I can kind of help manage, because sometimes they won't know what to do. And so that's one thing we talked about that we were doing, and then Eli's going to go over a couple of procedures on staff. And then the last thing that I truly, truly, truly respect is, besides all of y'all, is that people that are, just generally thankful for life, that come through the door not saying what sucks, not saying what's bad, because geez guys, none of us have seen that. We really haven't. We've not, a single one of us. We need to be thankful we've got a job. We need to be thankful we get to work with people we like. And for that privilege, we need to give every blood, sweat, and tear to our customers. They are trusting us with their kids. They are interviewing us every time they walk through the door. And it's not just coaches. It's customer service, it's me, it's everybody here. And like I said, this is the best point, and I can honestly say this gym has ever been at. It's the happiest I have been in this job in the 16 years I've owned this gym. And some of y'all have been through all of it with me. Trust me, curled up, fetal position, I was, chomping a for sale sign in the front yard. And everybody kind of held me back from doing it and stuff. And I thank y'all all for that and for coming back. But let's enjoy this, but let's be the best. Let's do what it is. And I always close with the 4-way test from Rotary, because I think it's the best standard to live from. And that's why I love Rotary so much, because this teaches me so much more. There's 4 questions we have to ask ourselves every time. Number 1, everything we're doing, is it the truth? Number 2, will it build goodwill and better friendships? what we say about each other, what we do, what we talk, are we really doing good well? Will it be beneficial to all? Just went blank. Yeah, that's it. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Is it beneficial to all?
Is it fun?
Is it fun? It's number 5. Huh?
Is it fun?
No.
You didn't say fair at all.
Fair.
Fair. Oh my gosh, I say this every week, but y'all got me rattled or emotional. So I'll put in the super staff news. Which everyone will read and stuff, but it's very strong standards that I try to ask myself every day. But anyway, we need to celebrate this and we need to go out there together and we need to help each other out and we need to be there for each other and we need to be the best gym, not in verbal advertising, in what they see. And the last thing too I was going to say is today I had this lady call me or email me out of the blue for synchronized swimming. And she's like, yes. So we now do synchronized
I was
swimming.
gonna say that. We really said that.
We're gonna change this.
We're gonna get out the slide.
No, and it was funny because I just feel this shift that almost makes me uneasy, like how well cheer's done, how well gymnastics done. I'm like, okay, God, like,
We can do it.
Thank you. What shoe is gonna, like, is this real? I almost am very quiet in myself. But she emailed, she said, hey, I've been checking out your website, I've been checking out this, and, I've heard a lot of things about y'all, and we have a team of about 15 kids that are training, and they're changing all these rules, and we really just thought it would be great to have somebody work with them on flexibility, on some tumbling. The rules of US Synchro is changing. Just like US Gymnastics, just like USA, except everything's always changing. And so she came in today, I said, well, I'm curious, why did you call it SIGN? Really, I'm always like, and she says, oh yeah. There's one lady's like, well, y'all were at this event. Actually, Savannah's mom worked it for me at the library. She did the showcase event. And she's like, y'all were there, and I saw y'all there at that community. We are community. And we weren't you know what I mean? We're in there because I believe in community, which y'all do too, or you wouldn't be at this gym. But we were in the community. Then she said, yeah, then one of my parents a few of our parents had gone to you from other ones, and they talked really highly about y'all. And then somebody else, somebody I just randomly talked to and said, here you go. And to know that we were the talk, because guys, there's been times we weren't the talk. Honestly, we know that. So, last thing, I love you guys. Y'all really made this happen. I really, and we're going to keep it going, and we're going to keep powerful, and we're going to keep together, and let's just, ride this wave, and keep riding it, because it's a really good wave for me right now.
What's up? Do I have to talk about this? I would like to say this is my 3rd staff meeting, and Julie's right, this is the best one I've ever been to. Everyone's paying attention.
Are you gonna sing for us?
Okay. So, I'm just gonna touch on a few facility things, and that's it. First thing is, let's clean up after ourselves. Mine and Ryan's, and a big kudos to Ryan and Noah. Ryan came in when I left from my job in Ohio and took over, and he's been a huge help making everything, and then Noah coming back in, and man, when we need someone, he's always there, so kudos to him. Most of the time, Ryan and I are, and Noah, sometimes, we're usually here when you guys aren't here, so either in the mornings or early afternoons or something. So one of our biggest frustrations is having to pick up after you guys. And I'm not saying like trash or like food, but we know that a few things, like we know gym team's gonna be there, or we know that cheer is gonna be there, so we wanna make sure everything's clear and that it looks good. And we just kinda wanna ask, if you got a mat, put it back where you got it. Just kinda clean up after yourself. Not, like I said, it's all mats. And then just return it to where you got it. And it's really not ever a problem, but it just seems to be always on the day when it's like, oh, there's this huge thing going on. The vault run is full of crap, and it just looks bad, so we have to organize it. And then sometimes we have our schedule where Ryan's not there or Noah's not there, it's just me or it's just Ryan or just Noah, and it's a one-person job that would take all the coaches or whoever did it would take you 10 minutes, but it takes one man about 45 minutes. Does that make sense? So, just kind of clear. The facility closet, it's a disaster. But it's not a disaster, it's just goes back to, like, if you go in and grab something and use it, we go looking for that tool, and then it's not there, and for some reason it's in the attic, or for some reason it's over here. So if you're gonna use something, use it, that's great, we encourage you, we support it, just put it back. Ryan and I are in that office now with Caitlin. If you have anything that you find, like, this is broken, or I don't know, and we're not there, just set it in the office. There's a little cubbies. The 8 on the left side are ours, and the 8 on the other side are Caitlin's.
I don't use them.
She doesn't use them, so put them wherever you like. But I know sometimes it seems like Laura said the other day, Eli, you're like walking circles around this gym right now. I'm like, yeah, I know, I dropped this and I dropped it. Don't hesitate to come up to us. Chelsea, where's she at? We didn't even really have a decent conversation until the New Year's Eve party. She was like, you're intimidating. Like,
That is not what I said.
She said something, she's like, well, you'd be mowing and working that mask.
That's very true.
I was like, yeah, but,
There are a lot of people scared of him, man.
just, if you ever see the three of us and you have something you need or whatever, even if it's for gym team or tumble, just don't hesitate. We don't mean to come off as intimidating. We just get really focused on the project, and so that's why we're kind of like, oh, I gotta do this, get out of my way. Really big thing that Lori and I have talked about a lot is we have kids that are either early classes or weekend and just typical classes that are picking apart our phone. And it's so hard. What the worst part is there's no way to regulate it right now. We have a couple Velcro strips we're gonna put on, or that we put on, and the Velcro didn't work. And what these kids don't realize, they're just sitting there probably talking, like picking and throwing, but it looks really, really bad. And those pieces of foam aren't cheap. So if you see it happening, try to say something about it, or just, like I said, we're kind of still in the process of figuring out how to cover it up, but it was frustrating because we had all those big foam pieces and we replaced them, and literally, I think that I did that on a Saturday, and I came in Monday, and it was just like, what just happened?
It looked like you didn't even vacuum it. We know you vacuum
Yeah.
all the time.
Really? Yes. So, but definitely, like I said, man, Noah, you have really helped us out, and I think you're really starting to grow. And
I was gonna say something on the same note. I was like, put stuff back where you got it. If you're not sure where it goes, ask somebody. And we don't mind doing all this stuff and putting everything everywhere. All that we ask is that you ask us to do it. Don't just assume that it's gonna get done by us because you go, oh, they always clean it up, so we'll just leave it here. Just ask us, and we'll do anything you want. Just ask us, because it's respectful.
And that's what Julie was saying. Send us an email. We're probably doing some email. And the last example I'll make is that big soccer net thing, the blow up. It was like 3 weeks ago after some party, I don't know.
Party or something.
It was just left out. And we actually haven't moved it since.
We
It's
made it a
still
point to
sitting
not
out.
move
We
it.
made it a point to leave it there because we were just kind of waiting to see. We still don't know if we left it out. We're gonna end up moving it. But that thing goes in the back left corner on
There's a
the
shelf
rack.
for it.
That's where it goes. So.
Saturday night out, we didn't know where.
No, it's okay. We made it a point to leave it there. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, but we really do appreciate you guys saying like, hey, the
Isn't
gym
there a
looks
label
good.
that
'Cause
can go on there?
we kind of take pride in it, moving things around.
Over spring break, I know there's a lot of cleaning stuff and facility stuff that's gonna be done. I know that she plans on putting kind of people in charge of different stuff. Me and Eli are kind of in charge of building the Ninja Warrior area.
Oh yeah, we're building a bunch of stuff.
So, but we're gonna do it at his house, so we're not having sawdust and cutting and blocking space to build stuff. We're gonna build it there, bring it here, so it's gonna be portable, so we can move inside that space. But that's our main goal over spring break, is to finish that Ninja Warrior area.
So, thank you.
Okay, we got one more thing.